Rowan Welsh here. Welcome to Tab's new Rugby World Cup preview show, Pick and Go. Lovely to be joined by Nathan Sharp, Rugby World Cup legend.
Good to be here, mate. How you going?
Very well, mate. You've been to 3 Rugby World Cups, but there's the feeling this could be something special, namely, of course, because of the location.
Oh, look, Japan's going to be fantastic. You know, you've only got to look at some of the infrastructure they got there. The crowds are going to be phenomenal, and you know how well the Northern Hemisphere supporters travel. But for me, it's the most open World Cup that I've seen, either played in or seen, you know. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm looking forward to kick-off, that's for sure.
Well, let's kick things off here. It's pick and go for a reason. We're going to let the forwards take 4 or 5 quick drives and hopefully get you a 5-pointer at the end.
That's what counts. The forwards, the backs, they don't matter, mate. Let's do pick and drive.
I was a forward. We're carrying the show. That's where we go. We'll start. Wallabies. Chances, $18 outsiders at the moment, and $2 just to top their pool, which includes Wales and Fiji.
Yeah, look, I think they're long odds for the Wallabies, and not really justified. If you look at the way they perform in tournaments, all through their history, they've always played well in a siege mentality. 2015, everyone wrote them off. Michael Cheika just came in. They were under all sorts of pressure. They came in and nearly dusted the All Blacks in the final. So, you know, $18 for me for the Wallabies. That's a good bet.
Tough to get out of their pool. Wales $1.75 favourites for that, but it also includes a pool with Uruguay and Georgia, 2 minnows. We expect the games to open up. Fiji should be an open game. Opens the prospect of a top try scorer market with the Wallabies.
Oh, it certainly does. I think that's going to align to them really, really well. Yeah. But for me, you know, that is a big game, that Wales-Australian game. See where they finish and who gets the easiest run out of the pool.
Yeah, nice and early. Fiji first for Australia and then Wales. Let's move on to our second pick and go. It's the All Blacks. Some say it's a lay-down misère that they'll make it 3 in a row. Others say they're vulnerable. Sharpie, where are you at?
Well, actually, I'm going to make a statement here. The All Blacks will not win this World Cup. They won't even make the final.
Oh, big call.
Oh, it is, I know. It's going to get under a few people's skins as well.
Yeah,
I think.
you're going to make some headlines across the Tasman with that. Why?
Could do. Look, I just think they've been so good for so long, and at this tournament, there are 4 or 5 teams who can knock them off at any one particular game, and that's some pretty big odds for the number of teams that are capable of beating you. I still think the All Blacks are the number 1 team in the world, but when you've got 4 or 5 teams that can have a great game and knock them off in that quarterfinal, semi-final stage, it's a big threat to them. And I think the All Blacks, you know, they've been fantastic, but I just don't know. I don't get the feeling they're going to do it.
It could be South Africa. They played them first. What a way to kick off the World Cup in round 1 against South Africa. The Springboks $5 to win the tournament. Of course, reigning rugby championship winners.
Yeah, mate, that is going to be one of the games of the tournament straight off the bat. Yeah. So you won't want to miss that game, that's for sure. All
right, let's go to our third pick and go. It's the pool of death, Pool C. We talk about the All Blacks and Springboks being a strong pool, but this one has England, France and Argentina. Of course, Argentina spurred on by the Jaguares making the final in Super Rugby, which is virtually the same team.
Yeah, look, for me, the danger in that pool is that, you know, I think they're positioned appropriately in terms of what odds they're on, but the Argentinian team, they can beat anyone on the day, and you know that's going to be a real threat for England and France. You know, how many times we've seen the World Cup turn up and, you know, everyone writes them off and they come out and blow their heads off, you know. So 1999 they dusted the All Blacks in the semi-final, and they've done it in 2007 again. So you don't write France off, and that pool, England will be very nervous, I reckon, going into that.
Yeah, good side, England. They're $5 to win the tournament overall. France are $34 and Argentina are $67 at the moment. Now, speaking of England, it brings us to our next pick and go, which is the best of Britain. Now, I say this with a little asterisk because we've included Ireland in this. They won't be happy about being lumped in with the British at all, so we understand that. Don't send your tweets in just yet. Ireland are $12 to win the tournament overall, and of course they are the number 1 seed going into this. They're actually world number 1, not the All Blacks.
Yeah, and look, for me, I think Joe Smith's played this perfectly. Great season last year. You know, they took home the bacon. Number 1 team in the world this year. Haven't played that well yet, but I actually think he's playing some ducks and drakes. So at $12, they are a supremely good bet for me.
Yeah, that's right. This includes England, this topic as well, which we just spoke about, and Wales, who are the reigning Six Nations champions, in the pool with the Wallabies at $14 to win the tournament. England, of course, coached by one of your ex-coaches and mentors, Eddie Jones.
Yeah, look, Eddie Jones, for me, one of the great coaches of the world. You know, if you look at what he's done with the Wallabies in 2003, South Africa in 2007, you know, his Japanese team beat South Africa in 2015. So, you know, he knows his stuff, and he's now got a squad of 30 players that I think he feels is pretty interchangeable. So he's got a really good depth in his squad. He's got a lot of support infrastructure behind that, and they're playing some good footy at the moment.
Yeah. Quick detour, Sharpie. Have you ever copped a famous Eddie Jones spray?
I think the best way to answer that is you've never actually been coached by Eddie Jones if you haven't copped a spray. So I've got my fair few. There's a few other guys that copped a few more, thankfully.
Next pick and go, the Smoky, the outsiders of this tournament. Who do you like here?
Look, I'll never back against them, but I see Australia at $18, a real smoky. You know, as I said, for all those reasons I highlighted before, you know, a team that's coming together, started to find some form in Perth against the All Blacks, fell away the next week, unfortunately, but if they can get it together, take that siege mentality, they're capable of knocking anyone off. And $18 is a very, very good odd for that.
Yeah, well, okay. We've got all the forwards have done all the hard work. We've had all our pick and goes. It's now time to go a little bit wider. Yeah. We're looking for a multi here to cross the line for a 5 point. I'll give you my one first of all, because I know you've got a little bit of a... well, you haven't tipped the All Blacks, frankly. I think the All Blacks versus Ireland in the final is a good bet, and I'll roll it into Marika Koroibete as top try scorer for the tournament. For those reasons I pointed out before, that it should be a couple of easy wins against Uruguay and Georgia in their pool for the Wallabies.
Pool stages, yeah, okay. I actually think that's a pretty good bet too.
Thank you, Shelby.
For me, I'm going to go South Africa-England final. And on the back of that, the fact that England will get there on you know, a lot of tries being scored, but I think Owen Farrell is going to be the top try scorer.
Sharpshooter?
No, sorry, not top try scorer, top point scorer.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty good bet.
Okay, that's a nice one. All right, we've got there in the end. The forwards did all the hard work, laid the platform as per usual, and we've got the 5-pointer. Sharpie, thank you very much. We'll keep an eye out for all your previews across the Tab platforms, and of course for all those markets, go to tab.com.au.